Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to ActivTrades Monday Market Matters webinar. Here we are, 2nd September 2024, back after our summer break. And we're here to talk about turn around your trading, okay? An opportunity to put your trading in the best place possible as we go into the interesting last few months of 2024. It's Paul here. It's great to be back. Great to be able to speak with you and have this time with you. As always, we'd really appreciate it if you can just confirm that the technology is working in our favor. If you can just confirm that you can see the slides and that you can hear my voice, you can put that in the chat box. We'd really appreciate that. Okay, it was good to make sure the technology's on our side before we launch ourselves into the main element. Excellent, super. Thank you, much appreciated. Fabulous. Well, as I said, I hope you've enjoyed a summer break of some sorts, and that you're ready for what is going to be, I think, an eventful few months as we race towards the end of 2024. And with that in mind, we want to be in a position to basically trade at our very best. So today's session is going to be talking about that, and we'll dig into that more in a few moments' time. So what are we going to talk about? Well, of course, as always, we'll talk about Monday Market Matters, have a little look at the news that we have coming up this week. But as I said, we're going to talk about turn around our trading. So we're going to talk about things like, well, why do traders have trading slumps? We'll also talk about, are there any early warning signs that you might be having a trading slump? But most importantly, what can we do to turn our trading around? Okay, and that's, as you'll see, there's a multitude of elements to do that. And hopefully, what I'd like from this session is to help assist traders effectively elevate their trading to their next level. And maybe you've had a few weeks off over the summer, over this very short summer for those of us here in the UK. It's hardly it was gone before it even arrived. But the important thing is maybe you've had the opportunity to reflect upon your trading so far this year. Maybe you've had a great year. Maybe you've had a challenging year, okay? Regardless of which, there is always an opportunity to get better as a trader, to improve ourselves, okay? And that's what we want to talk about today. And then, as always, we'll have a little look at live markets as we go into the opening of the US session. Okay, Monday Market Matters. I appreciate that we've got, I can see people here in the list who, join us every week, and it's fabulous to see you there. And I also recognise that, we have new traders who join us. Some of you at the very start of your trading journey, some of you are very experienced, and also a bit of a global audience. You're all very welcome here. We all have you're very welcome. It's fabulous for you to spend some time with us, and I hope that as we run for the rest of the year, you'll be able to join us, because what we do on Monday Market Matters is every Monday, 2 o'clock London time, take a little look at the news that's coming up for the week ahead. So we are primed and ready. Focus mostly on education, so a piece that's going to help build your trading knowledge. And as I said, today we're going to talk about turn around your trading. We'll always have a little look at some of the tools that are available to you as a client of ActivTrades in terms of the platforms and tools, and then have a little look at the live markets at the start of the US session. So there is always plenty for us to discuss, always plenty for us to cover. If you have a question or a comment, you can put it in the chat box, okay? And I'll take my time to answer it. If it's relevant to our session here today, we're always happy to help. So as I said, we'll always have a little look at some of the news, okay? The news that's coming down the pipe for the week ahead. And those of you who join us every week will know I always say that it doesn't matter how long you've been trading, okay? If you're new to trading, I wouldn't expect you to be able to analyze the data, but it is very important for you to know when that data is coming out, because that data will normally induce volatility. Volatility is a double-edged sword, okay? When you're on the right side of it, it's fabulous. When you're on the wrong side of it, it can be challenging. So it's important to know when that news is coming out. You can do that via a medium of an economic calendar. There is an economic calendar on the ActivTrades website, okay, that you'll be able to find and work with and access. And there are other ones on the internet, and that means there is no excuse not to take some time to have a look at what you're doing. Also, the analyst team here at ActivTrades will put out at the start of a week, they put out lots of notes and missives, okay, to clients to basically give them updates on what's going on in markets, what's been happening in specific markets, but also just giving a little heads up about what's what kind of news we can expect for the week ahead. So if you're not availing yourself of that, then make sure you do. So here in the in the UK we are here today, but in the US we have Labour Day. So of course, in terms of markets, it'll be a much more restricted access to markets, certainly in the US. But once we come back, okay, or rather once the Americans come back tomorrow, we'll find that we have quite a busy week ahead in terms of data. So first real full week of the month, okay, there's always lots of data coming out. So you can see that for tomorrow, okay, we have the American ISM PMIs, which people will be interested in. There's also the Swiss CPI data is coming out. On Wednesday, we've got Australian GDP, we've got a Bank of Canada interest rate statement, and we also have the US JOLTS job openings data. Thursday is going to give us some Australian balance of trade. You're also going to have the Governor Bullock from the Royal Bank of Australia. She'll be making her comments. We'll have in the afternoon, we'll have American non-farm employment change in terms of the ADP numbers. We'll also have the services PMI, okay, having had the manufacturing on Tuesday. And then on Friday, okay, the big data, of course, is the first Friday of the month. It'll be the American non-farm payrolls data, which will be out there. And that also comes with some Canadian data as well. So as I said, today is quiet, but the rest of the week will start to ramp up. And it's also about, as we see people start to filter back to their desks after their summer breaks. Okay, so we can expect to see, volatility start to pick up. And also we'll start to see moves occur as we see, some of those, let's say, the larger institutions look to position themselves for the remainder of 2024. Taking into account, of course, we have the US election in 2 months' time as well. So, as I said, it's going to be an interesting week at the start of what I think is probably going to be an interesting 2 to 4 months for us all. And as I said, it's important to keep on top of the economic calendar to help you with planning your trading. We've talked about the news, so let's talk about our main thrust today, okay, in terms of education knowledge. And as I said, we're going to talk about TYT, turn around your trading. And now, it's an unfortunate piece that the world we live in, that there are lots of people who come to trading, but they have come to trading with let's say, many false and damaging expectations based upon some of the less than ideal messages that are occasionally put out by individuals and organizations on social media. And what happens is that they have a disconnect, okay? The disconnect between the expectations that they have and have been set and the reality of trading, which causes them challenges and can actually lead to poor trading in itself. As a general rule, okay, and I speak from someone who's traded for many, many years and who's worked on trading floors and coached and mentored, hundreds, perhaps thousands of traders over the years, is that everybody will experience slumps in their trading performance from time to time. That is a fact, okay? Anybody who tells you that they don't is talking rubbish, okay? Everybody experiences those. It is how you as a trader respond to those slumps that will determine, let's say, your future trajectory as a trader, okay? And so what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at what happens when a trader has a slump, and more importantly, what can you do to start to turn that around, okay? So I've got a photo there of a big old oil shipping tanker, because sometimes turning around your trading can seem or feel like, it's like it's slow and as slow as a big oil tanker turning around. But the reality is sometimes it can be actually very quick. It depends upon identifying, what have been the challenges and, what can you do to actually turn around your trading. And as I said, what we want to do here is to give you the education and the insight and the knowledge to be able to make better choices and better decisions so that you are in a position to turn around your trading and elevate yourself to the next level as a trader. So, as I said, I've traded for many years and I've worked with, many, many traders, okay, over the years. And, as I was saying before, all traders will have slumps in performance. I would also say that probably people who are doing very aggressive intraday traders, they will also have, they will appear to have more slumps, all right? It happens to everybody. It does not mean that you are a terrible trader. It does not mean that you're, an awful person. It is part of your experience as a trader. And part of it, as I said, is about how you deal with that is what will actually sort of dictate your future trajectory as a trader. And I've had slumps in my trading career. Everybody does. If you meet somebody who says they never had a slump in their trading career, they probably aren't trading, or they probably haven't traded for for many years, okay, or they haven't traded for very long, because it is part of the experience. And you have to remember you're operating in a huge dynamic space, okay, in terms of markets, okay. It is invariably always going to be part of your experience. And as I said, what can we do to manage it? Are there things we can do that will give us an early warning, okay, so that we're actually able to prepare and plan? And we'll talk a little bit more about that later into our session. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to share some of my experiences, from coaching traders, just so that you can almost take away that education, take away that insight, and use it and help you too. And so, what I find is that, when you're coaching people, an awful lot of things, that people experience, which may resonate with yourself, because that may have things like, they're going through a period of inconsistent results. Perhaps they're feeling overwhelmed by trading, by their experience. Perhaps they have, a lack of clarity on their own trading plan, or perhaps very often they have no trading plan whatsoever. Or maybe, traders, they might have some rules, but they break them, okay, with monotonous regularity, all of which can help lead to sort of experiencing things like extreme stress and extreme pressure. Things like that being under that, well, that can lead to traders struggling to make the right decisions at the right time. All of that can lead to things like loss of self-belief, okay, loss of self-confidence, and loss of self-discipline. Other traders might experience frustration, okay, that boils over into other areas of their life, like work, relationships, and finances. Or perhaps, just experiencing an overall performance slump. Or maybe, just thinking you've not been as successful as you had been led to believe by, certain social media influencers, okay? There's all these reasons and many more why people call trader coaches, or why they look for help and support in their own trading. There's just a very broad range of experience from my own personal experiences of people calling me, but also, there will be others. But there are lots of particular reasons, right? And as I said, part of that is everybody will experience it in some way, at some form, at some time. How do you manage that? That is actually the important element. So there's all those kind of reasons and experiences, but what I tend to find is that there are certain reasons when, let's say, my phone really rings. And, it can be because they've had, a bit of a really bad trading session or period. Perhaps maybe they're just feeling intense emotional pain, or perhaps the sort of feeling that they're in the kind of frustration, like they're in the last chance saloon. And so what happens is, traders, they come looking for a turnaround in their fortunes, and very often they come looking for a revolution. But actually, very often it's merely evolution that they need, okay? And this is a really important point that I need to stress, okay? You don't always think you need to have a revolution. You don't always need to start, okay, with a brand new sheet of paper. Very often, for many traders, it is about evolution. It is time, okay? It is time for you to grow. It is time for you to evolve as a trader to your next level. And like any form of growth, that means it can be challenging, okay? That means it can be frustrating, but ultimately it's always worth it, okay? And that's what I'm going to try and share with you here today. So one of the things, okay, I speak to lots of traders, okay? I speak to lots of traders around the world. ActivTrades are very often, have standard trading conferences. Very often I'm there with my colleagues, and we talk to traders, okay? And and it's fascinating. We love it. We love being able to talk about markets and trading. But what we also, realize is that it's a case of very often, when working with a coach is helping people hold them accountable to doing the things that they know they should be doing. So all of us in our normal lives, in our normal lives, we all know that we should sleep more. We should basically, exercise more. We should eat better. We should, sort of avoid things that aren't good for us. We should be, active and out there rather than slovenly couch potatoes. We all know that, We all know that. The question is, do we do that? Do we do that and follow through with consistency? And so very often, working with a coach, that is about the accountability to ensure that you are engaging in the best practice and that you're starting to form good habits that start to carry you through, in terms of developing good habits that put you in a good place that allow you to make better choices, because with better choices we tend to get better outcomes, and that is as viable for every aspect of your life as it is for your trading life. And we'll, as I said, I'm going to share some of these elements with you. So if you have been having a bit of a challenge, if you have been having a bit of a frustrating time, and as I said, it will happen to everybody. It will happen to everybody, the first thing you can do is, as I say to people, is take the rap, You always need to take the rap, Trying to avoid the rap, just leads to generally to sort of, more literal and psychological pain. Take the rap, RAP. Recognize, accept, and prepare to change. Recognize, that slumps in performance are the rule, not the exception. Everybody has them. If you're having one, it's okay. It does not mean you're a terrible trader. It does not mean you're a terrible human being, It's merely a slump in performance. And as I was saying earlier, if you're doing a lot of aggressive intraday trading, it tends to happen a good deal more, because the pace at everything occurs is much faster. Accept that this is likely part of your experience. As I said, doesn't mean you're a terrible trader, does not mean that you're a bad human being. It is just part of your trading experience. And then P is prepared to change, As I said earlier, it's time to start looking to grow. It's time to start looking at the bigger picture. It's time to start considering your evolution to your next level as a trader. And everybody goes through these. Everybody's constantly going through an evolution to your next level as a trader. Even me, with many years of trading experience, you're always looking at your evolution to your next level as a trader. And that will be different for different people based upon their experiences, based upon the many different variables that come into their lives. But the important thing is to recognize, recognize, accept, and prepare. It is part of your experience as a trader. So I haven't understood that we need to take the rap. What do we actually need to understand? What do we need to do to be able to prepare to change? Now, through all my many years of trading, of coaching, mentoring traders, is that, what I find is that basically, when we come to trading, we are looking through the prisms of the 4 M's of trading: markets, method, money, and myself. And what I have found over the years is that the traders who are doing consistently well are the ones who are demonstrating real good management and leadership in each of those 4 areas: markets, method, money, and myself. If you are having a challenge in your trading, one of the best exercises you can do is to understand how well you are operating in terms of markets, method, money, and myself. Is there 1, maybe even 2 of those areas that are at the moment suboptimal? Because if they are, well, then we can start to focus in on what we need to do to effectively turn around our trading. So let's have a little quick chat about each of those 4 M's, and maybe it'll resonate with you about some of the the situations and experiences I share, but also about some of the things that you can do, to start helping yourself and start turning around your trading. So let's set the scene. Let's take 2 traders. We're going to call Trader A. Trader A is in good physical, mental, and emotional space. So they are financially secure, they're physically fit, they've got a supportive partner and supportive network. So they are managing myself. All right. They exercise consistent and robust risk management. So they are managing money. They are presently, Trader A is trading a trend following strategy that suits their profile. So they are managing a method, and the markets that he trades are in a trending environment. So they suit his method. So he is managing the market environment, okay? Market, method, money, and myself. We're always looking to make sure that we're on top of those 4 M's of trades. On the flip side, okay? On the flip side, let's take Trader B, okay? Trader B is in poor physical, mental, and emotional health. Okay, they're under financial pressure, they're physically unfit, they're non-supportive partner, family, and network. So they are poorly managing themselves. They are undisciplined and inconsistent in their risk management approach. So they are badly managing the money. They are trading a trend following strategy that he just bought from someone off the back of an overhyped internet marketing campaign. Okay, so they are poorly managing their method. They don't really understand the method, and the market is presently range bound. Okay, so they're trading a trend following method in a range bound market, so invalidating that method even more. So they have poor knowledge and management of the market environment, okay? Market, method, money, myself. So I put it to you, ladies and gentlemen, if you take those 2 traders, which trader would you like to be? Would you like to be Trader A? Would you like to be Trader B? Okay, you can take a moment to reflect upon that. Maybe take a moment to reflect upon your own trading experience. How many of Trader A and Trader B, how many elements of their approach do you currently sort of embody in your own trading? Okay, and as I said, doesn't mean you're a terrible trader, doesn't mean you're a terrible person. It's just part of your experience as a trader. It's a time for you to grow. It's a time for you to evolve. It's a time to become the best trading version of yourself. So I would hope that most of you would choose to prefer to be Trader A. Okay, that's what I would hope. If you would prefer to be Trader B, maybe there is a requirement for a little bit of a longer period of reflection upon your present experience. Okay, but most people would like and prefer to be Trader A. Okay, and that's understandable. But if you notice, all of these things that I talk about here, none of them are involving having the best trading system, okay, or the best computers, all right, or the best, the largest trading account, etc. These are all elements, okay, that you can start to control as a trader. These are all elements that you can control or you can influence, and this is a starting point we can work from in terms of helping us evolve to our next level as a trader. So let's have a quick look at markets in terms of the 4 M's of markets, okay? So there are lots of different markets that you can trade, okay? Equities, indices, commodities, FX, bonds, crypto, okay? That's absolutely fine, okay? And I know there will be people here who will trade only one of those markets. There might be some of you here who trade various markets, okay? And that's absolutely fine, okay? You'll find that ActivTrades provides a broad range of tradable instruments. The important thing is really, and I'm trying to keep this as simple as I can, is that you really need to understand that market that you are trading. Do you truly understand the market environment that it is? Is that market trending? Is that market correcting? Is that market range bound? Very, very simple. And yet you would be surprised how many traders don't even do this, let's say, kind of preliminary analysis, just to understand the environment that their instrument is trading in, okay? So just think about that. Just think about how could you make a little bit of a checklist that helps you make sure that you are managing those 4 M's, okay? And in particular markets, do you know your best instruments to trade? Do you know that instrument? Is it trending? Is it correcting? Is it range bound, okay? Very, very quickly, okay? It does not need to be in depth. You just need to have a robust way to be able to quickly identify that so that you're in a position to understand, bang, this is my market. This particular market at this moment is range bound, okay? So it's range bound. It's just a starting point to help us get a grasp on that markets and how it builds into our picture of how we should be operating in markets themselves. And one thing that the great market wizard Larry Hite said is, if you argue with the market, you will lose. And that's very, very true. Okay, you should want what the market wants. So if the market is trending, you should be trading trending. If that market is range bound, you should be, trading in a range bound mindset. Okay, or if you're just a trend following trader, just avoiding that. Okay, but the simple thing is, if you argue with the market, you will lose. So don't argue with the market, take it on board, okay, and work with what you see. The second element is method, okay, market and then method. Now, method is the most popular focus, right? Because all traders, they love to talk about methods, systems, strategy, tactics, however you wish to label it, okay? It is very, very easily the most popular focus when I'm at conferences, when I'm at trader meetups, okay? All traders love to talk about methods, okay? We're all fascinated by learning new entry strategies, entry tactics, etc. But there's more to it than that, okay? There is more to it than that. What we need to do, okay, between our market and our method is understand, okay, how are we coming to our conclusions? Maybe you're using fundamental analysis, maybe you're using technical analysis, which is what a lot of retail traders are using, or maybe it's a version of sentiment analysis. What becomes more important is understanding, what is my method, okay? Do I have a trend following method? Do I have a range bound method? Am I trading arbitrage, which is possible but tends to be less and less as seen as a way to operate? Or maybe I'm trading event driven method, so maybe you're trading around news or earnings, etc., depending upon your particular instrument. The quote at the bottom is probably one of my own, which basically is, everything works and nothing works. What do I mean by that? What I mean by is that, as I was saying earlier, if you can have the best trend following method in the world, but if the market you are trading is range bound, or it's correcting or transitioning, it doesn't matter how great your method is if that market environment does not support it. It is a very, very simple, but it should be like a starting point, that your market and your method need to align, okay? They need to align. If you like trading range bound methods, well, then you should be trading range bound markets, okay? That might sound simple, common sense, and it is, but actually very often you find that people get overwhelmed, okay? They get overwhelmed by either the excitement, okay, of just trading everything, or they get overwhelmed, okay, because they're just trying to take on a bit too much. But keep it simple. Make sure that your market and your method are in alignment, okay? And so when they are, everything works. When they are not in alignment, nothing works. And it doesn't matter how good your method is, okay? If it isn't aligned with the market environment we find ourselves in, well, then it's not going to help you. Another great quote from Ed Sikoto, who's a personal sort of trading hero of mine. He was mentioned in the initial Market Wizards book. Great quote, that systems don't need to be changed. The trick is for a trader to develop a system with which he is compatible. And that is absolutely true. And we're going to talk more about that a little bit later, okay? You can have the best trading method in the world, but if it is not compatible with you, okay, in the way you are and who you are and your character and your personality and your beliefs, okay, then you will struggle. And this is part of it, is about recognizing, as you go through your trading journey, you're starting to develop a better picture of who you are as a human being and also as a trader, so that you're able to sort of define the best market environment and the best methods that basically align with you. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. So we've looked at markets, we've looked at method. Let's have a look at the money here, okay? For all traders, okay, whether you've been trading for 2 weeks or 2 decades, money management, okay, the risk management element of that is actually the most necessary focus. Those of you who know me, those of you who have joined our sessions will know that I'm always going on about how, risk management is unbelievably important. It's about important to recognize and understand, your capitalization and whether it's really suitable for the goals and tactics and objectives that you might have. It is really important to understand position sizing, understand trade sizing, and most importantly, having simple money management rules that you can stick with through your trading journey. Once again, the fascinating thing about, let's call it money management, is that in many ways it is one of the easiest parts of trading to learn. But actually, I very often find that lots of traders have trouble sticking with it. Whereas actually, this is crucially important, okay? Take your time, have a very, very simple kind of risk management focus, and make sure that you're consistent with it time and time and time again, okay? By doing this, this starts to put in another one of, let's call it like the kind of almost like the foundations of your overall trading approach, making sure that, you know, you understand the market environment, you are trading the correct method for that, you know, for both you and the market environment, and that also you are conducting correct money management. You are managing your risk completely, okay? That's the third element of the 4 M's of trading. So, great quote here by Brett Steenbarger. Surprising proportion of emotional problems in trading can be traced to improper risk management. And I have seen this myself with people either trading sort of too big a position or too many positions, that leading to emotional challenges, and those emotional challenges playing themselves out in poor trading decisions. And part of this, as I said, is about understanding and having that plan in place. Simon says, a session on money management would be amazing in the future to help me view it from your point of view, as it is highly regarded. Yep, that's absolutely fine, Simon. You know, I will make sure I will put that into the plan for the next few months, and I'll make sure I will do a session just completely on money management. Very happy to do that. Very happy to help. We want these sessions to be really of great value to you. So we'll be happy to build that. Happy to build that in. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for the feedback. Super. No, you're very welcome. So we've looked at markets, we've looked at method, we've looked at money. Let's have a look at the final session, or the final of the 4 M's, which is all about myself. And what I've got there, okay, for new traders, for very new traders, it's most often the ignored section, okay? As I said, traders, they love to talk about methods, okay? They love to learn new methods, they love to learn new setups. We all do, we all find that fascinating. However, the element of managing myself is very often ignored until it is either too late, okay, or it becomes a point that where actually some people realize that, you know what, I have to manage myself if I am to progress as a trader. And it is part of, as I said, the traders I see who do consistently well as traders, they are managing all 4 of those M's: markets, method, money, and myself. And part of that about managing myself is about understanding, you know, why are you trading? Okay, what are your aims and expectations as a trader? And you have to sort of look at that, okay? How you manage your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, okay? All of that is important. And out of that, start to consider things like support structures that you have in place. What kind of support structures do you have in place? What kind of networks do you need to be able to tap in to help you? What is your own environment like? Not just the market environment, but what's your own physical environment like? Does it support you in being the best trader you can be? I have to say this, okay? I say this for me is that very often, you know, I have to find very often over the years, men can be very poor at managing this, okay? They think that they can just, the trading happens in a silo, that whatever's going on in the rest of life has no impact upon their, you know, their trading behaviors. I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you, gentlemen, okay, that actually everything that you do in your life will filter into your trading, okay? And so this is why it becomes important to manage that, to understand your reasons why, to understand what aims and expectations and objectives and what you are doing in terms of the support structures you put in place in order to help you put yourself in your best position to be the best trader you can be. Now, of course, in terms of what you can do, and that is almost as long as a piece of string. But I think for many new traders, just even recognizing this element, even recognizing the fact that it is a part of what they need to do to be the best trader they can be. Okay, it is an eye-opening moment for them. It is a moment, at which things start to click for them, starting to recognize that, for example, if you've had a bit of a late night, okay, maybe you've Maybe you've been out enjoying yourself a bit too much down the disco, or wherever. And it should not be a surprise that if you've had very little sleep, well, that actually you might not be in the best position to make good trading decisions first thing in the morning. Lots of people think that doesn't count. I assure you, okay. And unfortunately, as speaking from personal experience, as you get older, it does have an impact. Okay, these things do have an impact. So managing them, okay, becomes more and more important. And what you will find is that traders who've been trading for a long time, actually focusing on managing themselves becomes more important than managing markets, method, and money. Because what you'll find is, all the really great traders I've worked with, they are really good at their risk management. They understand the market environment, and they have a very, very simple method that they can just basically trade and follow. So those three, they're all pretty much locked down, and then it becomes about managing themselves, putting themselves in the best place possible to help them with their own trading. So here's the great commodities trader Peter Brandt and stuff talk about how the human element trading, it is enormously important and is very often ignored. Okay, but even being able to recognize and manage your emotions of things like fear and greed, they are central to being consistently successful in your endeavors as a trader. Okay, and the deeper you go into that, the longer you trade for, the more you'll realize that, and it will have huge beneficial impacts for you. There we go. As I said, turn around your trading. Okay, 4 M's of trading. You need to understand markets, method, money, and myself. And it'd be interesting, for those of you here with us live today, just take a moment. Would you be honestly able to say that you are, you are managing those 4 M's of trading? There's certainly no negative judgment from me at all. We're all on a journey towards trading mastery, okay, whether you've been trading for 2 weeks or 2 decades, okay. And so, but the whole idea is to give you a chance to stop and think and reflect, okay. Have I been on top of the 4 M's of trading? Are there areas in here that I am weak? Because I assure you, if they are, that is probably where you are having maybe your challenges in your trading experience, and that's what we like to see. So Peter says, good on 3 of them, but myself not quite so good. And I appreciate your honesty, Peter. All right, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate that you're being happy to share that. Okay, and the thing is, the managing myself, as I said, is the longer you go on in your trading, the more that becomes important. And actually, what you start to find is fascinating in terms of understanding the sort of the good, the bad, and the ugly within you. Okay, because we all have it. We're all human beings. We're all just a big bag of chemicals of one sort or another. And actually being able to manage that and recognize when you are doing things that support you being the best trader you can be, as opposed to doing things which are detrimental to your progress. So it is a constant journey. That is a constant sort of event, experience, lifestyle to sort of embrace and to lead and stuff. So I'm sure you are not alone there. Okay, everybody's in that kind of experience. So Simon says, I'm good on everything other than money and method, but working hard on money while staying patient on fine-tuning the method. That's really great, Simon. Okay, once again, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, thank you for honesty. As I said, there's never any negative judgment. It's part of recognizing it. Sometimes having that raised self-awareness is what needs to happen in order to be able for you to make progress. Okay, and to recognize, being able to put it into, let's say, those kind of 4 spheres. All right, recognizing, okay, I've got to work on money and method. That's what I need to do. Okay, so what do I need to do? Starting to break that down into things that I can do. So in terms of money, making sure that you are, managing risk on every trade. You never trade without a stop loss. You only ever risk a small portion of your account on a trade. In terms of method, understanding a simple method and understanding whether it is the right method for the market environment that we're in, and is it the right method for you? Are you able to consistently deploy, okay, and execute that trading method? So really good for you, Simon, to share for that. Really appreciate it. Okay, as I said, you're not alone. everybody is on that journey, and everybody's working to be the best of them, and being able, as I said, being able to recognize where your own particular challenges are. That's the sort of thing that helps you turn around your trading, okay, because you're able to focus on it better. So thank you for that. All right, thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Okay, that's good. And what I will do is, in our future sessions, I will build in sessions. As I said, I'll build in a session on money, and we'll build in a session on method, and we'll build in a specific session even on managing self, etc., just to help you all in your progress. We're very happy to do that. Okay, so if you have been struggling, okay, and maybe you're struggling now, maybe you've struggled in the past, I assure you at some point you will struggle in the future, okay. Here is the first of my kind of top tips, right? First of my top tips, okay, and the first top tip is to stop, all right? Is to stop. If you're having struggles, okay, stop, all right? They like a super tanker, okay. That might be hard to do, but it's important that you do, okay, especially if you are metaphorically heading towards the rocks, okay. You wouldn't want an oil tanker to head towards that. But sometimes what we need to do is to do a thing called a stop tool, which came from William Galway, who's he's like the grandfather of coaching, okay. He was a former naval officer who became a tennis coach and wrote the book the Inner Game of Tennis, okay, which you might think is nothing to do with trading, but actually when you read it you realize it is very, very applicable to trading. And he talks about, if you're having struggles, then stop, okay, step back, take some time to think, organize your thoughts, and then proceed. And doing a stop schedule, that might be a 2-minute job, maybe it's a 2-month job, depending upon where you are in the cycle. But if you are struggling and you're struggling, then just take some time to stop, okay. Take some time to stop, step back, think, organize your thoughts, and then proceed. Take a little bit of time to get an understanding, some perspective on the bigger picture. When I first started many years ago, I would trade in the mornings till about 10:30, and I was sort of big trader on that cable. And then from about 10:30 till midday, I would leave my trading desk, take printouts of my trades from the morning, and then get out of the building, go for a walk, go and sit in a coffee shop, and then I would do my debriefs, do my reviews in the morning, draw on the charts. I'd take a screenshot of what at the start of the trade and then at the end of the trade, and look at how it was, how it played out compared to what my plan was, what could I learn from it, what could I have done better, and I would do that religiously every day, okay. But the thing is, taking that little bit of time out, get away from the desk, clear my head, get a bit of fresh air, get a bit of a walk around the park to the coffee shop, and then just sit down and debrief, okay, go through it, okay, organize my thoughts so that I was in a better position to trade the afternoon session if I was doing that, or just to be better the next day, okay. It is part of it is about being a better trader tomorrow than you were yesterday, okay. And that might sound like slow improvement, slow move, but that's the way it works, okay. Just trying to be a little bit better every day, every week, every month, every quarter, every year, and just having that, embracing that, okay. And part of that, as I said, is understanding those 4 M's of trading, understanding which ones of those maybe you're struggling with, maybe you're not managing them as well as you should be, and then just making a commitment to yourself to basically to take that on board and start to put things in place to help you with that move. So some additional top tips, okay. If you have been having struggles, okay, firstly, as I said, doesn't mean you're a terrible person, doesn't mean you're a terrible trader, okay. It's just part of your journey, So make sure you're using a stop schedule. Have you considered the relevance of the 4 M's in trading in your approach, okay? Did you really all understand those 4 M's? Can you truthfully say to yourself that you are managing them well? Next question, are you managing risk? Are you really, truly managing risk? Because that is your number one job, okay? You're a risk manager first and a speculator second. Do you really know your market? And do you know your method, okay? Do you understand your market? Do you understand your method? Are they in alignment? If they are not, well, then why are you trading, okay? Why are you trading? A big one as well also, are you keeping your records? Okay, you know, I said there myself about, you know, printing off the charts, going and taking a walk, sitting in a coffee shop, drawing them out. Okay, are you keeping those records? If not, start. Okay, start doing that. And also take a moment to think, do you have support structures in place to help you, right? Do you have genuine support structures? Maybe you have a gym membership. Maybe you have, you know, a PTI. Maybe you have, you know, a running path, or even just a walking path, or a yoga class, or you know something. Maybe you have, you know, maybe you have a personal coach for other elements or areas of your life. Do you have, you know, a home environment that supports you? Do you genuinely have a partner and friends who support you? There's an awful lot of support structures. They don't have to be expensive. They don't actually, you know, have to, you know, you can find a way to create them. Okay, but I assure you, they will help you. Okay, and you know, it's better to be ready and prepared for these particular elements. Yeah, and just a few additional tips. Okay, a few final 3 tips. Okay, from someone who has been through all of this, and someone who basically works with traders and helps them. You know, you're gonna have to realize that everybody pays for their education in trading. Okay, you know, and what I mean by that is that, you know, if you are learning from these great sessions, okay, that's great, fantastic, but you know, you know, that will take time. Okay, that will take time. You know, you're either paying in time or money. You just have to accept that and take that on board as part of your journey. If you want to be a world-class trader, well, then you do need world-class support structures. You look at, you know, tennis players, golf players, okay, boxers, etc. They don't do it on their own. Okay, they all have, you know, great support structures around them. So take some time to think about, well, what could you do to start to put them in place? Okay, recognize, okay, you know, as part of your evolution, as part of your moving forward in your journey, do you feel like you need education? As in, do you need to be taught? Or do you need to be mentored? Do you need to be someone who will advise you, okay, the way forward? Or do you need coaching, someone who will actually stretch you to be the best version of yourself? If you go down that path, we'll take one time to find one who suits you. But the thing that can help you the most is keeping good records. Ensure you're always keeping good records. That would help, you know, both you and any particular coach you worked with. All right. Be honest with people about your levels of experience and your expectations, and be realistic in your own expectation. All right. And you hear me say this often. You know, you are either an amateur with a hobby, or you're a professional with a business. That choice is yours. Okay. And when I say, you know, a professional, that doesn't mean you know, a trader working for an institution. That's about the way you conduct yourself. Okay. That is about you having those support structures in place. It's about you having your trading plan in place. That is about you understanding those 4 M's of trading and addressing shortfalls in those areas at present, but then also lifting and raising yourself up, okay, as a creating those kind of almost like positive spiral where those 4 M's help support you, okay. And interestingly, you know, you will find that in terms of when it comes to managing yourself, you know, the longer and deeper you go into your trading journey, the longer you will find that actually, it helps support you in just in your way of being a human being, okay, and that becomes unbelievably important. So, to conclude, okay, well, you know, one of your support structures could be just, you know, attending Money Market Matters webinars, all right, every Monday, 2 o'clock London time. That's what we're here to do, to help, you know, support you, to give you some news, some education and insight into ActivTrades tools and markets. As I've said all year, it's going to be an interesting year in markets. I think now that people start to come back from their summer holidays, it's going to be increasingly eventful over the next couple of months. So just remember, if you do have a slump in performance, it's the rule, not the exception. It doesn't mean you're a bad human. It doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It is part of that, part of managing. And you know, you see that in performance sports. Okay, you see that in any performance environments. There will be occasionally, you know, you will have performance slumps. Trying to think that they never happen or that you can avoid them is, you know, is not really the smart way about it. Okay, it's invariably a case of it's recognizing, you know, how soon can I recognize that I'm in one, and how soon, what can I do to basically to turn around my trading. Remember the wrap: accept them, okay, expect them, and plan for them. work on raising your awareness, okay? You know, even just, as I said, going through those 4 M's and just taking time to reflect, just answering some of the questions I put on the slide a couple back, so that you can raise your awareness, because you're in a position to make better choices. And when you make better choices, you tend to generate better results. So take the time. Do you really understand those 4 M's of trading? Have you been on top of them? If not, make a promise to yourself from now for the rest of the year, that you'll do your best to basically cover off the shortfalls and improve your understanding and your application of those 4 M's of trading. And if you are having a struggle, then stop, all right? Step back, think, organize your thoughts, then proceed. Maybe you do it for a minute, okay? You know, during a busy trading session. Maybe you do it for a week because, you know, you want to work on your trading business. Stop. Remember, remember what it stands for, and remember how you can utilize it as a way and a means to basically help you turn around your trading. So we'll have a quick look at the market in a moment, just to remind you that, as I said, Monday Market Matters every Monday, 2 o'clock London time. Next week, okay, 9th September, we'll be talking about trading using trend lines. So I hope you'll join us for that. You can see there's a QR code there. You can register on the website itself. And as I said, I hope that you will join us for it. And also a reminder, okay, you can follow ActivTrades on YouTube. Okay, we have our own channel on there, and what you'll find is that these Monday Market Matters webinars, they will also be uploaded on there, so you can actually access them and rewatch them if you want to take on board pieces and stuff. So remember, find us on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe for all replays of the latest webinars and other good material there from my colleagues. As always, if you've got any questions or comments or thoughts about ActivTrades, or comments you want to make about the webinars, well, then by all means you can do so. You can see our contact details there. Most importantly, email englishdesk@activetrades.com. Feel free to drop any feedback, or if there's even things you'd like to see me cover. Okay, if there's things you'd like me to sort of touch upon and cover in the future sessions, please by all means let me know that, and we'll very happily build that in. So, as I said, it's the Labor Day bank holiday in the US, but we'll have a little quick look at some of the markets just for a couple of minutes, okay, just to see how they are particularly showing up. So if you just bear with me for one moment, we'll switch across. I'm hoping now that you can still hear me, and I'm hoping that you can see the charts here. And what I've got here on our ActivTrades platform is this is my US dollar, okay, my dollar profile. As I said, whilst it's a starting point for, well, primarily for me as an FX trader. I'm always looking to see what's the dollar doing. The dollar is the big daddy, all right, and I want to know and be aware of what it's doing, so that I can, I can basically position myself accordingly. So I have the dollar index, and then I have dollar Swiss, pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, dollar Canadian, dollar yen, and then a few other of the esoteric and also some of the commodities there on one profile, so that one, in kind of almost like one heartbeat, I can take a quick look. Okay, I can take a quick snapshot to understand, what is the dollar doing? What, is it bullish? Is it bearish? Is it doing nothing? Remember, if I'm going to be trading FX, I want to understand my market environment, don't I? Okay, and then this is a good starting place for me. And if we look at here, let's start with the monthly chart here. Okay, if we look at the last 2 monthly candles, okay, the last 2 monthly candles have been very bearish, haven't they? From being up here at the highs, okay, of the year, we've basically traded away in the last couple of months back down to these lows here, just in front of the 100 numbers, about 100.50, okay, that we're working there. If we look at the weekly chart there, okay, interesting, we talked about this, we had, having rallied our way up to previous year's highs, we put in, I think, a big bearish engulfing candle here. We then formed a lower high here. We then broke our structure and worked our way down. And hopefully you can see that for the last couple of months, we were mostly selling dollar. And if you understand your market environment, that we're bearish trending dollar, that has a huge impact in terms of trading other major currency crosses. But if we look at the dollar there, bang, I've got that on the daily chart there, and hopefully you can see, there's July, there's August, and we've seen the trend was very clear, wasn't it? The trend was very clear. It's not always. Sometimes, like, we had a few weeks there where it was pretty much going sideways. And that's why I say, as a good trader, you need to understand the market environment that you're operating in, okay? If you're a range-bound trader, well, then these last couple of months, have not been the easiest for you to trade. So, why would you trade it if you prefer to trade range-bound methods? But anyway, we've come here, we've come down, we've had a little bit of a rally, okay, the last couple of days, but of course, as I said, we've got some major American news coming out this week, as we talked about, and of course, I think we'll see lots of the big boys coming back, to their desks, and so I suspect what we'll see over this next sort of week, 2 weeks is lots of the sort of major players starting to reposition themselves. The summer's over, we're into the last, 3-4 months of the year. We have a US election in November. How are the major institutions and players going to position themselves? That's what we're interested. That's what we're interested in here. So, yes, the trend is bearish, and it has been. We've had a little bit of rally, but it's too early to say whether that's a reversal at the moment. It's just been a nice retrace, a nice pullback, okay, in an otherwise clear downtrend. What kind of confirms that is when I switch, okay, to looking at the euro dollar, okay, euro dollar, most traded instruments in the world, in the sense of the amounts of people are investing and trading in it. If we look at the weekly chart, you can see that in the same way the dollar index has been collapsing, the euro dollar is rising there. Now, my view would be that most of that rise has been due to dollar weakness more so than euro strength. But we can see there how the way they play and how they are very clearly inversely correlated. Once again, this is euro dollar on the daily chart, and we can see that in the same way dollar index was moving down, euro dollar has been moving up, okay, moving up quite nicely there. Especially April was a very strong month for strong month for selling the dollar effectively. But even that, we can see we've come back off there. As I said, it's too early to call it a top. What we're looking to see is how this will play out this week as we go into this weekend. As I said, as the major institutions return and as we start to see the major players position themselves. Lots of other traders will look to trade when it comes to dollar. They will look at dollar yen. Now, of course, the Japanese yen has had a rather eventful couple of months. What we can see here is that this is the dollar against the yen on the weekly chart. We're in a very clear uptrend, okay, and a very clear uptrend. So, if you're a trend following trader, well, buying dollar yen was really the work for the last couple of years, okay? If you're a range bound trader, you did not want to be trading the yen in that sense, okay? And so, as I said, it's about aligning your markets and your methods. But we had a false breakout here, which turned into an evening star. And we talked about this on some of our Monday Market Matters. And then actually, what you can see there, the Japanese yen here against the yen. But against the dollar, sorry, but against all of the major currencies, we had the yen strengthen as the sort of the reverse carry trade started to unwind itself, and we can see there's some really strong moves there. But actually, if we look at that, over the last sort of couple of weeks throughout August, it's been mostly quiet, mostly dull there, really, which is what you would normally expect from August markets. And as I said, perhaps maybe what we'll start to see is a little bit of awakening. Okay, we can see that when I go down to the daily chart. Some people might look at that and say, "Well, Paul, isn't that just a nice double bottom?" And I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree with you on that. Others might just say, "Well, actually, after for the last 3 weeks, we've been pretty much in a box there," and that is what you normally expect. Okay, it's what you normally would expect. All right, in August, okay, but you can see that invariably that after that big move down, okay, dollar weakness, which is what we saw on the dollar index, we've gone sideways, and now we'll wait for the next move. Then I think that might be kind of interesting for us. Just overrun by a minute, but I'll just do a little bit on the. I'll finish off on pound against dollar here, okay, on cable on the weekly charts. So, gosh, if we just put it here, you might say that we had our lows here in April. And what we've had here is pound against dollar has been basically in an uptrend like that, hasn't it? It's been moving its way there. We had a little bit of a a relief rally there, okay, in terms of the UK elections at the start of July. But then, we kind of rolled off a bit. But then the last couple of weeks, as you can see, not only did we now come and break through 130, we really did get above it. As I said, a bit like the euro dollar, a lot of that's to do with euro weakness, dollar weakness, and we've seen, most of the major currencies have taken advantage of that. But here we are in terms of last week we basically peaked out a little bit there. And remember, I was just saying that this week is going to be interesting to see as we get US data coming out. Okay, lots of US data coming out there. We'll be looking to see, is that going to continue the dollar weakness story that we've seen here? Remember, this is the daily chart here. Okay, the last 2 months has been quite some move there, dollar weakness. Is it going to be enough? Okay, if the non-farm payrolls on Friday, if that number is a poor number, that will not reflect well on various elements. Okay, so as I said, there's going to be a lot of big data coming out this week, and people will start to take an interest in that to see what impact that might have on both the US economy, US dollar, as we start to get an interest rate cutting cycle starting to begin in the US itself. Okay, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Time flies when you're having fun there, as always. So we're here to end our session today. Thank you very much for all of you joining us today. I hope you found that useful. I hope that's given you some sort of food for thought that you can take away and reflect upon how to not only turn around your trading but improve your trading to make sure that you're being the best trader you possibly can, because that's definitely what I want for you, and that's what we want here for you to be to constantly be evolving into the best version of your trading self. As always, okay, thanks very much for joining us. I hope that you have a fabulous trading week. I hope that you will join us next week, okay, when we're talking about trading with trend lines, and until that time, trade well, everybody. Take care.